you know he's talented when he's healthy, but he's yet to be healthy.
Right.
Speaking of some health, heard of Chris Bosh
trying to make a return.
Trying to make a return back to the NBA.
I mean, I think because he saw Dwayne Wade come back to Miami, he started to think that I could come back to Miami too. Like, no.
You had a heart problem, bro.
Like, no, once Pat Riley made the decision, I'm not letting you play here anymore. To me, that should have been 2019 also.
Just take
your money, go home.
No, like, just take your high road that you left and leave. Like,
if you high road, don't leave. I say you do like every other like white athlete that suffers from a young injury and has to leave. Become a coach. Become a executive.
Well, I don't mind being. Oh yeah, you can be a coach, but I'm just saying,
scout.
Don't sit there and try to like ruin with like your career. I'm not saying you would, but there's a good chance you're gonna ruin it trying to come back after a big injury like that, and then
you're gonna look bad. Like you're not gonna be boss.
Now, one, you're coming back from an injury that took you out for about 2 years.
Yeah.
2, you only got older within those years.
Right.
3, these other kids is gonna bully you because everyone shoots, so you're not gonna be wide open at that perimeter where most people didn't respect the big man that far. Everyone respects everyone that far.
Now, here's the thing. I think, Bosh, your athleticism would make you that great. You were a freak of nature. 6'11", you could play inside, outside. You could dunk him. You could pull him the post. We don't even know how healthy you are.
Honestly, what I see him coming back is Channing Frye.
Yes.
That's legit what I see.
That's a good point right there. I don't think that's fair to him.
Yeah,
I don't think that's fair to him.
I don't even want to say
you were.
Yeah, but it's just that's what I'm saying.
And how much would have to pay you? Like, so it's like, no, bro.
You're gonna be at the double digits by like 12 mil.
Like, you get 20 million still. Like that contract is still signed.
Oh yeah, I'm
20 million, like 24, like million, like something like.
So he's at minimum he's probably getting 18.
So it's like, no, sir.
And then all you're gonna do is probably chuck it from the shot. You can't really help me on defense.
Like you're not gonna give much. Okay, so in that sense, become a coach, bro. Why can't you be a Spoelstra's lead assistant, man? Like go with coaching like Juwan Howard did when he still thought he had minutes, but you ain't have minutes. I'll be a coach.
Nah, but Juwan Howard did it. He sat in that bench like, I'll keep the seat warm for you.
He was on the roster. He was a coach. And I feel like, Bosh gotta go that route, man. Like
he was the only coach on that roster with shorts on. Like he was
injuries. We had 3 major
big impact
injuries this year.
Actually,
starting off with DeMarcus Cousins torn the Achilles. He was having a super year.
It's hard to think of it because I hate that you have to bring it up in that type of sense. He was a free agent.
Yeah, that's what's really bad. Now he's not going to get paid.
That is the problem. Now it's just like...
Now he's not going to get the deal.
Can you blame him if they don't want to give you that top dollar?
He might have to sign for 1 year and then next year re-enter the pool. You know what I mean? We also
is it going to be with the Pelicans still? Or is it going to be with another team? Could it be with the Lakers?
I want him to go to Washington. So he could join up with his man from college, John Wall.
That would be amazing if he goes there.
I really think that's would be the best bet because John Wall's over there can control DeMarcus Cousins.
I don't think he want to control DeMarcus Cousins.
Same way in college where DeMarcus should be crazy, John Wall will come over and calm
But this is the problem with that. I do like it. Yeah. But I think as DeMarcus Cousins, as we've seen him as the player he is now, I don't know if he can reverse that role back to just being a big man. Or do they...
Without, doing the playmaking and all that.
Yeah.
But I think that would work out with... Because Scott Brooks is a good coach. He'll make it work. He had Durant, he had Ibaka. He'll be able to...
I don't know. I would just like to see, because I know Cousins love bringing that ball up, and I don't think Wall's going to be like...
Well, I think he'll be fine, because if he was able to do that with Rondo, with all them years, knowing how Rondo has to have the ball in his hand 96% of the time. He's on the
ball. But this is an older Rondo.
Really? With Sacramento, he was still 27? And that's Marcus when he wasn't even listening to people. And somehow him and Rondo worked. And now with the Pelicans again, they worked again.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it'll work with Wall for sure.
No, but
how will he come back off his Achilles? Yeah. This is a career ending sometimes. He's a big man.
He's a big, a big man with knee injuries.
Yao Ming ain't never returned after he had the foot surgery.
So I just always concerned about how that's gonna work, especially because you got Beal, you got Wall. Those two guys like the ball. I kind of would like him in
But to me, win championships, you need sacrifice. I mean, you need talent.
Yeah,
like Klay Thompson, another team can be 25 a night.
I think ideally they're the best team for him because another team that could be dope, but I think Boston, and I also like Portland.
Okay, but I like Newford, like Uric. the center they have over there now. Like I like him a lot. The way he fits with them.
But I think he can also, the fact that Cousins is so versatile, he can play.
He can play four
because
along with him.
Cousins is not big on rebounds. He would probably be big on.
Cousins is actually a better rebounder than Davis. Which shocked me this year.
Really?
Yeah, I knew Cousins was a good rebounder.
Yeah, because he was always decent, but he was never that top.
He was a gap better than Davis. When they say Anthony Davis is getting rebounder, this stats is better than Davis in everything but field goal percentage. He had more assists, more rebounds.
He's a better
shooter.
But that's why the reason I say I like him in Portland because Lillard and McCollum don't necessarily need the ball in their hand to score.
But they score.
But they,
I'm saying a lot of shots.
I'm saying they don't necessarily need the ball in their hand to score.
Rondo and Drew Holiday, they're willing to let Davis and Cousins get the shots. Lillard and
I don't know.
McCollum are not giving up shots. That's the reason Newfick can't average 20. Like he was averaging 20.
But I think if a player with a Cousins that comes in there with his mentality, that changes. I think that spreads up towards like, you know what, we're trying to win.
I don't think you can at this point with those two.
I think you could.
Those two are too into what they do.
I think you could because if you look at and you say, yo, look,
and then Cousins has won nothing.
They've
been in the playoffs every year of their life.
But I'm saying you look at them, you say, yo, you haven't gotten any further than what you've been. So why not see?
You've never been that talented.
I'm just saying with that coaching staff and what that is, it can actually work. But at the same time, they're all around the same age. I like Cousins with a more veteran.
I think it can't work because Cousins not a defender. So I think for him to make them better, he would have to be a defensive first center.
That's true.
Whereas he's offensively gifted. So are they. So I don't think they make him better.
So he's gonna make mad points here.
Yeah, like almost like with Houston, they needed a Clint Capella.
But
you know what I'm saying? They needed somebody that's a nene. Because of course, Paul and Harden can score. That's not what you need out of your big men.
But I think if it's ideally,
and same with Golden State.
It depends on Cousins.
Big men gotta be just rim protectors. But we don't need scorers out of y'all.
I think Cousins. It depends on if he wants the money or a championship. I think if he wants the money, he's a good chance to probably go to LA. Go to the Lakers.
Even that, they both.
That's both.
Because I mean, Lonzo and Cousins.
I just know. But who knows?
It'll take a year, but they'll be.
But then again, it might take a year. We don't know his leg. Mm-hmm. But you go to Boston, that's a good shot of going straight to a championship.
I think Boston's the best fit. It's like they can sign him. He go to Hayward, Al Horford, Kyrie, the whole situation.
You can sign him for without giving up none of your players like Jalen Brown.
But they have to get somebody to afford him. Somebody got to go. Let's go to Hayward contract, Kyrie contract, Al Horford. This was a huge deal.
That means Al Horford probably going.
Brown and Tatum gonna need money in a year too. When they come off their rookie deals, so for Cousins
everything just makes expensive.
Somebody got to go.
It's
probably Hayward.
Nah, it's
because he's getting 28.
Nah, that
number cannot match.
It depends because they already went that hard to go get him.
Hayward is Stevens' boy. They brought him in over just. That's his man.
Yes, I'm saying they may keep Hayward. I think it might be Tatum.
But Tatum's not enough. One of those big three. Kyrie's 20.
But
Howard is 32.
I said originally Al Horford because he's already taking a big man, so it's going to be Tatum and Horford that will be the two. What's the point?
Moving along, we also had a little bit before we had a small forward elite defender, Andre Roberson, go down with an injury, done for the season.
Another big injury, that a big loss for the Thunder, for that defensive team that defensive anchor who was there pretty much their key for their success to come out the West.
I mean, I just felt like he and Paul George made it impossible for wing players to score along with Westbrook. Taking that away takes away an advantage. It doesn't make them suffer.
Worse,
like they don't suffer from Roberson's loss. But they lose an advantage.
I just think it makes it easy, like playing against a Warriors team where like you can take turns on Kevin Durant.
Right, with Roberson and George. Whereas like you now have to just have George with him all the time. Whereas now Clay gets free reign now. You can't swap off George and Roberson on Durant and Clay.
Yeah, because now you got to put Carmelo on.
Well, Carmelo will be on Draymond probably.
And I don't think that's...
And Draymond, I think, is going to be in for it. Like, I don't think he's ever realized in the playoffs. Because he's had Kevin Love have good games against him. He's had LaMarcus Aldridge have good games against him. He's never had to deal with a Carmelo Anthony in 7 games. And I love the way people think Draymond is a supreme defender. Carmelo's a supreme scorer.
But
in 7 games, that's going to be
This is a problem because Draymond is going to have to be... he's not going to be playing in the paint.
I mean, there's going to be some paint.
But I'm saying
he's going to post you up.
But majority of the time, he's not going to be in the paint. It's going to be at that mid-range percentage. And now you just got Pachula?
Yeah.
As your rebound.
JaVale McGee or Kevin Durant is a backline defender. So we'll see how that works out.
I think that's gonna be. I would
And then
love to see
lastly,
that
New
series.
Yorkers are crying all across the world. The famed unicorn, the franchise, was leading the league in blocks when he went down. Kristaps Porzingis suffered the torn ACL dunking on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's what you
He'll
get for
be out for
making
the
a post
remainder of
up.
the year, and it's possible that he'll miss some time next year. It's a devastating knee injury. You've seen Derrick Rose, Brandon Roy, most recently Jabari Parker suffered this injury.
And he's had some injury, knee problems earlier
Correct.
this season. So it's
But there's also some positivity in this. We've seen most recently Zach LaVine of the Chicago Bulls return from the same injury. Jamal Crawford, a former Knick, had this injury early in his career with the Bulls, was able to recover.
LaVine just returned.
So, with that being said, Jabari Parker's returned and he's playing right now. So, it usually takes about 12 months, anywhere from 10 to 13 months to recover. Some come back earlier. We saw Amon Shumpert with the Knicks a few years ago come back prior to 12 months. So it depends on the healer. It depends on how they work, but it should take about 12 months.
Also,
But
he is a big man.
He's very young. Usually, when they're this young, they come back stronger. Most come back strong. Jamal Crawford, Amon Shumpert, Zach LaVine, that have went through this and came back strong. Another person, I believe Al Harrington, suffered this in his career and also was able to. Baron Davis is the name I was with. He tore the ACL in UCLA and was also returned. Also maintained his athleticism, got stronger. Until he also had knee problems again later in his career.
My only problem with that is just that there's a lot of guards that are returning stronger.
Well, that's why I mentioned Al Harrington.
Yeah,
who was a big man. And
so I heard. But I'm saying majority of them is guards that return back easier rather than.
Well, Porzingis I think suffered it because most people that tear their ACL are more athletic types. Porzingis plays more like a guard. When I first saw Porzingis tape from the way he played in Spain as a 17-year-old, I told my man Gene, this guy reminds me of Kevin Durant. I called him the white Kevin Durant when I first saw Porzingis as a 17-year-old.
But then Durant tore his ACL too.
I think he did also.
He did.
I think Durant also did also.
Tore his ACL.
The reason I said that Porzingis reminded me of Durant, he looked like a very tall person that could shoot the ball, that didn't have a lot of moves, the same way Durant was in college. A good spot-up shooter, more of a shooting guard that was 6'10". And that's the exact same thing that I saw out of Porzingis. He could really shoot, but he had no moves. And he got bullied in the paint. He was very skinny. So years later now, when we see Porzingis, he's more of a wing player. Even though he's 7'3" and he can block shots, he's an elite rim protector. He's a perimeter player. So now when he gets a torn ACL, that's more of a guard injury, and that's what he got. So now we just hope that Porzingis come back stronger, he can become better, and that's the hope. And I think the bigger hope for the Knicks are you get a higher draft pick, almost I call it the Tim Duncan, David Robinson effect, which I'll go further into, where you have your star player in place, he gets hurt. Now you get an elite player out of the draft because of the time that your elite player missed. The Knicks got Kristaps Porzingis because Carmelo had knee surgery. And the Knicks got a top 5 pick because Carmelo got hurt that year. Otherwise, you'd have never got Porzingis if Melo played that year. Mm-hmm. So those are the injuries.